Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. My name is Christopher J. If you're new here, please subscribe. If you like what you're hearing, please hit the thumbs up. And if you'd like to be notified of future content, please hit that bell for notification. So, with that being said, I haven't done a video in a while. I have been running around with my kids. My kids are on a club lacrosse team, all three of them, and they've been having practices and tournaments throughout the last 3 weeks. So, I haven't been able to really dedicate myself to making videos on a consistent basis. But recently, a police shooting was brought to my attention. Mr. Walter Wallace Jr. Mr. Wallace was a Philly resident, 27-year-old black male that was shot and killed by Philly police on October 27th. So I'm sure everybody has watched the video. There's, I've been seeing it circulated through the news in the last couple of days. And what I'm going to do today is I'm just going to give my opinion on it, my analysis on it, and then and I'm sure, like most of you, if you know who I am, you're probably going to already know where I'm siding at. So, but anyway, um, first of all, we're going to start with the actual police dispatch. And I did hear a little bit of that, and from what it appears, the police were responding to that resident. They have been there on several other occasions, but they were responding this time for a domestic incident. The actual call states that a black male was assaulting an elderly female at the residence. So when the police arrived there, it was obvious that Mr. Wallace was being corralled by a lady there that I believe it is his mother, just from reports. So she was actually trying to calm him down. Mr. Wallace did have a knife in his hand, and it from the video, and as I've stated before, you're not going to see complete video of it, obviously, because there's a lot of graphic stuff from the shoot and everything. But from the video, you can see that Mr. Wallace is walking around with a knife, and the woman is trying to calm him down. Mr. Wallace continues to walk around the vehicle while officers are giving instructions, demands to put the knife down. They're walking backwards, trying to get away from just create space with Mr. Wallace, and he continues to advance. Now, the video does cut off, so you're not going to be able to really see what happens if he how close he got to the officers or whatever. But the officers were already displaying their weapons; they were pointing them at him, and the gentleman, Mr. Wallace, continued to walk at him, and at that time he was shot and killed. So I've watched the video numerous times. I've listened to the dispatch, and I'm going to say that the shooting is justified, and I'm going to give you my reasons, obviously. So, but first of all, I want to start by saying, I saw a lot of interviews after the actual shooting, and it's really easy to Monday morning quarterback these situations. After you watch it, you can analyze it or just analyze it, look at it, and you can give your determination. He should have been tased. This is what officers should have done. I mean, there's no reset button here. You can't just push a reset button. Once this incident starts, you can't just stop and make decisions. These are decisions that are made within seconds. So that's number one. As I mentioned before, number two, it's a knife. It's a deadly weapon as well, too. So they're matching his deadly force with their deadly force. They're both matching each other. He's using a knife. They have guns. So, and I'm hearing a lot of people saying he should have been tased. He should have been tased. But if you want to watch somebody get tased and still attack an officer, go and watch the incident that happened. The Chicago man, I believe his name was Jermy Ochea. And that happened on September 5th, where he was actually tased by officers, and he was able to still advance at the officers and stab at the officers, the female officers. So I'm going to leave that video and then link that in the description, so you can actually watch somebody get tased. You can watch somebody get tased, and you can watch them still advance. This gentleman continued to do it, and at that point, he was shot and killed as well, too. But that's one thing. Number two, I've been hearing a lot of people saying you should shoot at his legs. Legs are a very, very hard target to hit. Not only that, if you're shooting at legs and you miss, there's going to be ricochet. Those bullets can go anywhere, okay? And there's a lot of people out there at the time. So not only if they would have shot at him at his legs and it skipped and hit somebody, that would be two people either wounded or killed. So, like I say, you have to think about that too. I mean, the reason why you're shooting above the waist and above is because it's a big mass of body. So they always say in the academy, you're shooting at center mass. So unfortunately, as I mentioned before, the young man had a knife in his hand and he was shot and killed. So I mean, we have to, as people, everybody, we have to take accountability when we do things like this. And I'm seeing a lot of people on social media not understanding the value of that, understanding that you need to take accountability of it. You can't sit there and just take a man's side when he's holding the knife. The officers are telling him to put it down, and he's not listening. As I mentioned before, there's no reset button. These are the deadly situations. You cannot just stop the situation and analyze it and determine what you want to do. This is going to be justified. This is probably going to be clear very shortly. I feel bad for the family. It's unfortunate. I'm hearing that the young man was dealing with some mental health issues. So, and like I said, as officers, you're going to show up and you're going to analyze the situation. Some people do know these people have mental health situations, but when you have a knife in your hand, all bets are off. Okay. I know, they continue to give demands and he just wouldn't put the knife down. So, but anyway, now we have people protesting, rioting. We're back to the looting situation. People that's just not going to help anything. I really just get sick and tired of seeing people committing these crimes, looting these businesses that people have probably been running for 30 plus years. They've had it in their families. It's just not fair to them. What good is that going to cause you doing that? They've been doing it 2 nights now, and it's continued to continue to go on. And for the most part, half these people have not probably even watched the video to see exactly what happened. So, and even further, watching the video, they're trying to render aid to this young man, and people are on attack of the police officer. So, there's a lot of things that are going on in this video. I'm not going to play it here because I don't, there's no point in doing that. I don't want YouTube pulling my video because of the graphic, situation. But I mean, you can pretty much look it up and see what's going on. And as you've seen, I'm not going back on the young man's history. I'm not doing that. I don't care if he robbed the bank the day before. I could care less about that. I'm talking about what happened that day, what police officers, approach, what everybody else saw in the news. So, but that's my analysis on it. You love me or hate me, I'm bringing up some good points, I believe. If you feel any other way, sorry that you feel that way. But, as I mentioned before, you're matching deadly force with deadly force. Tasers do work sometimes, but they're not 100% proof. And as I mentioned before, I'm going to leave that link where Jermy Ochea was tased and continued to come at officers and stab at them. So, but anyway, I'm going to get out of here. Thanks for watching the video. I didn't really want to do this, but I'm going to start talking about like politics and transitioning into that stuff. So with the election coming up, once I get a little bit of time, we're going to start doing some videos on that. And we're going to go from there. So, but anyway, you guys take care. You'll have a good night. Peace.